Surely you have seen this type of images about how crouching means a symbol of peace, and the most incredible thing is that developers of Minecraft consider this gesture to be official, so much so that in Minecraft Dungeons they added an emoticon called friendship, which shows animation of the player crouching. But what is this all about, and how did it come about? For this reason, crouching is the symbol of peace in Minecraft. Welcome back to Bobicraft, but in English! The main function of crouching has always been not to fall off the blocks, and thus go through dangerous places without worrying about dying. It also helps us in parkour. When we crouching, we come back without any problems, so you will have more space to run, and also make sure that when you jump, you won't run over blocks. But there are many more mechanics, like to get stuck on a ladder, or some vines, and above all, it is capable of saving you from magma blocks. Just crouching won't hurt you. As you know, when we step on the redstone ores, these are going to light up, but when we sneak past crouching, this is not going to trigger. This is the comparison of crouching and this is walking. Crouching also helps us to build on top of blocks without interface, because if I right click, it only opens its interface. By shifting, I can place the blocks on top. Also, if you throw yourself at the slime blocks and crouch, it will hurt you, preventing you from the player cannot bounce. The footsteps will not be hard as much either, and your level will disappear. But another of the most important functions of crouching is that our player's hitbox decreases in size. The player measures 1.8 blocks. This means that he doesn't reach the full 2 blocks, but he is too close. In Minecraft Bedrock, when you crouch, you go from 1.8 to 1.6 blocks, and in Java Edition to 1.5. This means that in Java Edition we can crouch even more. For example, in Java Edition we can go through a tile area and the player fits in small areas. Unfortunately, Minecraft Bedrock, we cannot go through this type of space. In short, bending over is very powerful, but we haven't talked about his most powerful trick, friendship. For this, I went to a server disguised as Steve, and obviously I entered with another account, so that it wouldn't be seen that I'm a YouTuber, and I put it to test. When I saw that a player was approaching me, I started to crouch, and we can see that he isn't doing anything to me and he left. I started to make a breach, and we can see that the player having tools to kill me didn't want to come towards me. Obviously, this is not going to work every time, but it is a reality that by bending over, you are more likely to make friends. But why? Why precisely crouch? This can be explained thanks to human psychology. We are going to give an example with monkeys. Do you know something that you should never do when you met a monkey? Never look them in the eye. When a person stares at a monkey, it indicates that their attention is focused on him. However, obviously the monkeys can understand what we say, so they don't know what our intentions are, making the monkey feel nervous, and most likely it will end up attacking you. A lot of species, when staring at each other, means that they are being challenged. It is a basic instinct for animals. This instinct is also present in human beings. Imagine that you are walking down the street, and suddenly when you are walking, a person stares at you. Obviously, you are going to feel quite uncomfortable. You may even feel afraid, but even if this person is kind and has no intention of harming you, in the same way, you will want to run away. I actually tested it on a server. I don't want to kill any player, but I stare at a player, and you can see he starts shooting eggs at me. I kept staring at him, and obviously he got more nervous. He started throwing at me snowballs, and he started throwing me snowballs. A completely static person cannot transmit any emotion. They cannot know if they are happy, sad, angry, if they want to kill you, or if they want to help you. But there are still many questions left, because bending down is the best way to demonstrate peace and friendship, as this has a very deep meaning. To greet people, you probably wave your hand, but do you know how to greet in Japan? The Japanese have a different way of greeting each other. They do it with bows, and in fact, there are different types. If you bow at 15 degrees, it is used as a simple greeting for people of the same rank. The bow of 30 degrees is used normally to greet people who are above you. It is more or less the equivalent of a military salute. And finally, the 45 degrees. It is done when you have a huge respect for the person in front of you, or it is also usually done to apologize. But here it is not interesting that if I had not told you what these references mean. I am pretty sure You would have guessed what each one meant, because just seeing a person crouching down makes us understand that they have respect for you. But ducking not only means giving respect, it also means you are weak, but quite weakness in a good way. Normally, when you see weak, helpless, and poor people on the street, you most likely it is that you feel compassion and want to help him. And weakness always shows when someone is crouching. In a boxing fight, when the opponent is lying on the ground, it means that he is defenseless and you have won. Therefore, by showing yourself weak against your opponent, he will hardly want to attack you, because you are not a threat. I am in front of my enemy, and he realizes that I am defenseless for being crouched. Also, when you crouch, the other player will feel superior. That way, he will feel like a king. And we can find this in the history of humanity. For many years, people who are below the king had to bow down, kneeling in front of the person with the highest position, thus showing respect and being safe before the most powerful person. And obviously, you are not going to want to attack a person who respects you so much. In addition, will you surely attack a person doing stupid things in front of you? Probably not, because it's pretty funny. But if doing stupid things also works, can we try other methods of peace? For example, what happens if we start throwing items in front of our opponent? Or if we start punching the air? Or what happens if we start gesturing with the shields? Let's put it to test. First, I will try the strategy of throwing items. I went in front of an enemy and started to drop everything, and apparently he had no compassion. I tried again, he was approaching an enemy and started throwing all my items at him. Apparently not, I didn't get any results either. I tried again, showing him that I'm defenseless. I kept throwing items in front of him, even shifting, and I didn't get any response either. Without being any psychology expert, I determined that maybe throwing items at the player is like giving him the idea that you are able to kill him without any items, making the players more angry. We will not try to do stupid things with the sword. I started to crouch and with the sword at my opponent, and we can see how they are throwing snowballs at me. And without a doubt, he wants to come to kill me. Although I felt he was a little scared, as if he was confused, but without a doubt, he really wanted to defeat me. I tried again, an enemy was nearby, and I started to shift with the sword and he returned the gesture a bit. More or less it works, but he finally ended up killing me. I did another try, I started to crouch and move the sword to the person in front of me. At the moment we can see that he is approaching me, and he left me alone. I determined that in some cases the sword doesn't matter, as long as you crouch too, since if you stay still staring at him and punching the air, this will get his attention, and he will want to challenge you. You will be able to see how the player is coming towards me. And he came super fast. This is what we mentioned about not staring, as it happens with the monkeys. Now we will try to make signs with a shield. I started to make the sign of shields to my enemies. Apparently he wanted to kill me, and we can see that he had compassion. Something quite strange that he didn't come to kill me. And then he began to give armor. For now, the test of the shields has worked. Impressively, the player died on purpose, letting me win. But in other tests, they seem to have cared absolutely nothing, and they ended up killing me. Before shields, we could protect ourselves by right-clicking swords, and it was also a peace sign, making only veteran players remember this mechanic and this peace sign, but newer players will hardly know that you are doing to them the sign of friendship. However, crouching will always be the best way to show peace. Thanks to everything we have seen in this video. Remember to subscribe and leave your like. On the left, you have a video suggested by the YouTube algorithm, and on the right, you have the most recent video.